Welcome to Great Overload. I'm Anthony. I spent the last few days overlooking the RX 470 by SAPPHIRE graphics card with Samsung memory. So let's dive in. The SAPPHIRE RX 470 with Samsung memory graphics card here for their mining card actually was quite a pleasure to actually go through and review, and that my friend gave me an opportunity to review this over the last couple days, and I do want to thank him for that. But I'm going to give you a quick overview of the card, go around it. If you want to see the card and maybe the unboxing, please see my prior video as well. But as you see, it looks like a standard graphics card. We got fans on top, we got, heat pipes next to the PCI slot. They're really cool. We got heat pipes in the back, right? We got a power connector, 8-pin on this way. PCB board looks pretty much like a graphics card. And then the most interesting thing that's different is that we have just a DVI port and not much else. Little ventilation for more cooling, for better cooling. So with that, this card overall though, I was quite impressed with. And I do want to get into maybe a little details here in a second, but for around $250, $260 and a 180-day warranty that comes with the card, I do want to mention that this does seem like a great card for miners. I'm not fully understanding all the mining stuff, so I'm sure somebody's going to correct me on some things, and I appreciate that as well. But overall, from what I know and what I've seen and what little mining I've dabbled in, is that this worked pretty well overall. I was impressed. I'm glad that there's mining cards out, and hopefully miners, you go buy up all these cards first and then move to the graphics card, so I can maybe squeeze in buying a graphics card here. So maybe other gamers can also squeeze in buying a graphics card, but I know that as soon as you buy this up, you'll be back on the graphics card for gaming as well. But I do think that this is one card that people can pick up if they're into the mining or want to maybe even dabble in it and just have a mining dedicated card. I would like to see maybe some more aspects of software, maybe taking advantage of dual graphics cards where one is not have supports on it, is more maybe like a mining card that can just run some of that and offload some of that processing as well. But on the system that I was using, first off, I was using a Windows 10 Insider Preview, and this is so I can get the GPU percentage off of it as well on the compute side. I don't have an image of that because it's still iffy on exactly if it works, and until it's fully released, I won't do that. But it did show up as 100%. And there was a couple dips, but if you go through the couple compute sections of that GPU, it was showed up as 100 and calculated out to be 100 at all times. So this card was put through its paces at 100% during the mining sessions that I was doing with it. And then I was using a i7-2700K at stock speeds, using an Asus P8 P67 Pro Revision 3.1 motherboard, and it had 32 gigs of RAM, running it with an SSD. So this is just a basic system I had. It was running AMD drivers 17.1.1, and I wish I had time to be able to test all the new drivers throughout. This is just with the drivers that were on the machine already, and I was just running tests. I don't know how much it'll differ, but AMD did come out with these RX 470 mining cards, specific drivers today, and so I won't have time at all to test it on this. But the drivers today, if you were curious about that version, was 17.7.1. So I'm going to dive in though to the Ethereum coins that I was benchmarking I was doing. So this is an interesting one. This is the hot coin, or one of them right now as well. And I was very impressed with how be able to benchmark and get set up quite quickly. And so I got quite a few benchmarks in here to be able to do overall, and then I'll just show you the results from GPU-Z on how they changed, and what actually came out of this GPU-Z running the benchmarks, which it was quite interesting. This image that you see here is just one of the starting images, but I got it up to much higher fan speed overall. I got up to about 44%. And then I also but it had the full load of GPU and memory controller. And this card was put inside of a case. It wasn't set up like some miners do where it was open as well. and I was pulling about 87.5 watts, as you can see. I did see it get up to 99 overall. I didn't get to see much over that. I don't know if that wattage is lower though than the RX 470 gaming card. If it is, bravo AMD and Sapphire for getting that a little bit better, because a little bit of power savings in mining can go a long way as well. And it kept it at 7 degrees. You can probably set that lower, get the fan speed higher, increase the fan speed to keep it cooler if you like. And I bet you would keep up. I never saw it get above 50% fan speed on any of this stuff, and I did quite a few Ethereum runs, so benchmarking wise. So I was quite impressed with it overall. And I will post another image here, and I can't remember which benchmark this was from, but I put it up of the AMD Wattman stuff to see what they were saying and what they were reporting as well. I did not mess with the overclocking, underclocking stuff. I didn't do that. I tried to keep it as static as possible, see what I could actually get out of the card, and so that's what I kind of kept this at. I'm sure that there will be a lot more tweaking, and many other people, especially if they own this card for mining, will be able to tweak it. But it seems like Ethereum, they were getting about 23 to 24 mega hash per second is what I was seeing. So I don't know if that's higher as well as the normal gaming card, but if it is, maybe there was some already tweaking done to this to make it more beneficial to miners as well, which would be a plus to the miners. And I think that would be a good improvement to make the mining cards more unique and more attractive to mining overall. So going through this card though, I did some NiceHash stuff as well, and NiceHash was very interesting overall. NiceHash, it gives me a lot of opportunity to do different algorithms and everything else. And this one in this image, as you see, was about 19% fan speed. I did get it up to about 49, someplace in there, one of the algorithms. And memory controller load is about 36. It did get up to 100 in some other ones. And the GPU load is 100, of course. That's the way I hope it would be. But right in this one, power was about 67.7 watts. I was pretty impressed though, how it kept all this power and everything else, and management of it. Overall though, I was still impressed with the card. I mean, I can't say much about how miners might think about this, but overall how I'm thinking about it, and maybe dabbling in some mining, is that this card would be something I would consider if I just wanted a mining dedicated card, or if I wanted to buy a whole bunch of mining cards and create a rig. I create a whole bunch of RX 470s from Sapphire here, other mining card, and then be done with it, and I don't have to worry about that as well. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you press that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching Gray Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Gray Overload.